Welcome back to our channel, Very Engaged.
Welcome back.
I am Anthony. This is,
I'm Debbie.
yes, and we're just here to have a little conversation. I'm going to start off first by addressing the elephant in the room,
Okay.
for our 5 subscribers, right? We missed the episode last week,
Yeah.
because it was kind of crazy, I guess. We had a lot going on, to say the least, right?
Yeah. It was very busy
Yeah.
through our own choice.
Yeah, right. It was fun. We had Rap in the Rivers, which was pretty dope. Shout out Nick Busy and everybody that had a part in making that thing go down, because it really took a village.
Yeah.
Glenn rolling around, you know what I'm saying, through the site, just kind of making sure everything's good, at the very least offering comedic relief.
Yeah.
The elements were definitely in full effect out there with the weather, but we weathered the storm, I guess you could say, and I seen a post from Nick saying Brother Ali's gonna do a makeup show later in the year or something like that for us. So
Yeah.
all good vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You could tell everyone that was there was like they cared for that event, even if they were just, even if they were just there to see the stuff, or if they were there like participating or volunteering. Like you could just tell that there was a lot of care that went into it because of, you're also having to defend hip hop in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So everyone that's there has to be like, doing it for hip hop, doing it for the right reasons, despite, any little small town backlash of,
Yeah. So I performed on Friday. What'd you think of the set?
I thought it was awesome. That was, like I said, like, it's crazy to see what you can do, in the middle of nowhere almost. So, no, nice big stage. The sound was great. The crowd was doing even, what was that, 6:45 or so? Still had a good crowd, full of energy, so I think it went awesome.
Yeah. Okay, I think so too. I think it felt good being up there. It felt good kind of seeing all the people, being able to see everything. The views were amazing all the way around, like just mountains everywhere. It did feel like we were in the middle of the Sahara Desert at points with the wind and how hot it got that day. But all things considered, it felt fucking amazing being back up there. Life has been hard kind of for a while, losing my mom, and it felt good to be up there doing something that I know that I'm only able to do because of her. So like, because of her believing in me and just loving the fact that I always created music, and it felt good. It felt good. I felt her there with me. So that was awesome. And I will say this though, while we did miss the episode last week, the elephant in the room, we haven't missed a day of running.
I was going to mention that.
Right?
Yeah.
We've been running, doing our 2 miles every night.
So we literally spent all of Thursday and then leading up to Friday to prep for Rap in the Rivers. And because of that, it was just like, work schedules and whatever, right? So we get up to Rap in the Rivers, we stay to watch the other acts. We have some freaking amazing food. That Aloha Poke food truck, like, shout out. That was some of the best freaking food that we've had in Montana.
Yeah,
like,
shout
honestly.
out them for sure.
So anyways, then we stay and then we come home and realize, oh my gosh, we still have to run. And by then it's like, what, 1? Was it the 1 in the morning? Yeah.
We ran late both nights. The second night probably a little later, but it was still like 1.
Yeah, so the irony of this is when we started around 9:30, and then a couple of nights it starts getting later where we're running at 10:30, and we're like, hey, like, we really need to start earlier. And the irony is that almost every night we've continued to start later and later to the point of we're at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
after Rapping the Rivers. And then, from there, like my work schedule, because I work on the weekends, for some reason, we just could not slide this podcast in last week.
Yeah.
So.
And it's one of the things you don't want to rush. Like, I don't want it to ever feel rushed when we're out here because it feels too good. So, like, even now I'm being here, it feels like, man, like, I feel bad that I missed it last week. I could have had this feeling last week as well.
Yeah.
You know, the feeling of just being able to sit down and just like let it all go and just talk about things that are on our minds, things that are important, things that, you know, we're doing, whether it be in work or personal life, with music, with design, you know, talk about people, you know, throw some shout outs out there.
Yeah.
It's a good experience, and it feels good to kind of connect with you more here too, and that part actually is one that's one of my favorites. You know,
Same.
Yeah.
Of course, I think everyone knows that any time they get with you is valuable, so I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm always trying to leave everyone and everything to get back to you, to be at the house, because this, you know, this is my sanctuary. This is where, you know, this is where my heart's at. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is where I want to be. So it feels good to kind of schedule things like we've been doing lately and making room for shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, room to do this, room to, you know, to work, to knock out deadlines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To kind of socialize a bit while working.
Yeah. And, you know, with that said, like, I'm trying to make it so, you know, we just keep finding ways to work together more and more, just to kind of build a little empire.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I hear you.
Through music and art and business and just one big melting pot that we can create together.
Once we finish servicing this embroidery machine, right?
Yeah.
It's like, if it's not, that's another thing that happened during the weekend too, is the embroidery machine kind of, you know, struggling a little bit, but nothing that can't be fixed. It's just something that needs time addressed to it to get fixed. So,
and that's when you really know that Montana is still relatively small, in the sense of, if we need a technician for this, we're literally having to go out of state to find people because we can't find anyone here.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get it figured out. Because the guy we talked to on the phone, or I heard him when you were talking on the phone, and he was just like, "Wait, where are you at in Montana?"
Yeah.
And you're like, Bozeman. Yeah. And then I was like, that guy's going to come service our embroidery machine just to get a trip
to Montana.
To Bozeman.
To Bozeman, yeah.
He's going to be like, yeah, because I asked him if, you know, you can do it remotely. Can you help us remotely? Because it's an error code, so maybe he can walk us through it. Mm-hmm. But now this guy's going to be like, no, I'm going to have to see up and close and personal. And it's going to take him like 2 seconds. And he's going to go, okay, I'm going fishing.
Right. He's going to hit me up and let me know when the Airbnb's booked. You know, we'll be out there, you know, for a few days to check out the machine. Like, yeah, he really liked the fact that I was out in Bozeman.
That's funny.
And then he started asking questions about it, you know, about Bozeman and how it is right now. And
interesting.
What's the weather like over there? And, you know, it was he was definitely interested. I think he said he either was out here before or heard about it or been to Montana or something, but I know that he was ready to get back. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that'll help us with fixing that thing. You know?
Yeah.
Just his passion to be out here in Big Sky, Montana. Yeah.
Man, if you follow anything on Reddit or anything local on social media, it is like, there's so much drama here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's so much drama here. I like that we pretty much lead a drama-free life.
Yeah.
Like, life happens and it creates its own, like, natural disaster. But, like, otherwise, I feel like it feels really good because in a small town, like, that's how it always is. that's why high school was like horrible for me, is because of the drama, and I get it now. Kids are all like, I realize how much energy they have. And like, if you can't release that, you release it onto other people. It can be like a negative impact, in that sense. But anyways, so, yeah, I feel like that's one thing I really love about life right now is keeping it drama free.
Yeah, keeping it drama free.
I'll watch drama.
Yeah.
I can watch it from afar.
Yeah,
I don't want involved.
You
But
don't mind watching you watch it in a show, but
right.
I don't want it in my life. Yeah, and that's not due to a lack of work to make it that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, drama is all around. It takes work to just not actively be pulled into it every which direction. And thankfully, we've done work to kind of keep us on that straight and narrow, to kind of help us to kind of avoid it. Like when you're driving in the road and you see like a big pothole, you see it soon enough, you can avoid it better. So like we're just a little bit more, mindful in that way, so that we don't have to deal with drama. That we see so many people that we, know, maybe close or from afar, going through it. So yeah, it does feel good. I have a bar where I say, into having fun with no drama, it makes for better luck.
Okay.
Like, that's just, you'll be luckier. It's almost like the saying that, yeah, people that work hard get really lucky. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to lay those seeds out. So you got to want to have the fun without the drama in order to actually have a life without it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got to actually want to. But I'm noticing you got a little jar over there.
Well, yeah. So remember, what'd you say?
What's that?
Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. Well, remember I had you write like topics or questions on these little note cards. Okay. So the whole point is to pull one out and then just go off,
Okay.
just kind of like something new and different to start off a conversation. So you want me to, or you want to do the honor?
I'll go in there. Oh, lost it.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. Let's see. Inspiration. How to stay inspired.
Okay.
That's a good one. I'll get that back to you. Okay. I don't know what to do with it. I probably just end up
I'll
fiddling
just put
with
it
it the whole show. Okay, inspiration and how to stay inspired, right? I like to just rule of thumb, I like to be around people that are inspiring. So like the things you talk about, the things you you joke about with your friends and those in your close circle, those things are often what attributes the most to your state of mind, your state of being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you hang around people that are inspirational, so people that are always saying things like, oh no, bro, like you got this, or you should try to do this, or you should keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like hearing those things repetitively are inspirational. You feel me? And there's definitely the other half of the coin to where you can hang around people that are always saying things that are definitely damaging to your state of being, or just encourage you to not keep going, or you should give that up, or why are you wasting your time doing that, or quit chasing those pipe dreams. There's things that you can say to deter someone too, but just to start off, like, be around inspirational people.
Yeah.
Be around people that are inspiring, and you're going to feel inspired.
Yeah.
Like that's just the baseline. If you're not looking around at the people around you and feeling inspired, then you need to get around a different group of people and then go from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what about you? How do you feel about it?
Well, so something that comes to mind right away is just when in California, that's when I learned about breakdance and got involved in that culture of hip hop and things like that. And when I moved back to Bozeman, I had all this hyped up energy. I was just fresh out of college. I was doing graphic design. So I was like, oh, design and dance. And I always used to joke like, oh, I'm a designer by day and dancer by night, but not that kind of dancer. And I realized quickly the lack of influence because there's no breakdance battles here. So I realized that I had to find influence, some other way because it wasn't here.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I mean, I bought like every DVD possible that had breakdance, storyline, breakdance in the title, whatever.
You still got.
I do. Yeah, because at this point they're like vintage. I mean, some of those are really old movies.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like with dance, like influence, it didn't really come out until I met other people that, oh my gosh, you guys break dance in town, and there was just enough of us to influence each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that allowed me to dance harder, dance better. But then when that kind of ran out, it ran its course. People got older, people got busy, people were moving.
Mm-hmm.
I lost that influence of people. And like I said, like you can buy movies and you can read about it and all this, but it really was the environment of being around others
Mm-hmm.
that really needed that push. So I do honestly find it really hard to be inspired in Bozeman sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it could be like the stuff you see online. It's almost like they're influential people, but they're so far out of reach in that sense because you kind of want to see someone that's like on your same level and want to see like, what's that next step? What's that next step?
Mm-hmm.
That growth, that's more influential to me. If I see someone that's already like doing what I'm doing, but they're so freaking successful and out there, I'm just like, yeah, that's great. But like, I want to know what the next step is and someone influence that next step to get to that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's like people with, since I don't dance really anymore, now it's more of like design influence, business influence.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's the people that are showing like, hey, you saw me last year, you know what I mean? And I was doing fine, but look what I did with consistency. Look what I did when I just niched down. Look what I did when I just like stood back and said, what's important? What do I want to utilize my time doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing like in a year how much difference that made, like with their design, with whatever they're doing, And then I'm like, okay, that's inspiring.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it comes down to people. It really does.
Yeah. Who's around you? How they make you feel, how you make them feel. And I think that's like we can all kind of benefit from that. We can all benefit from being inspired by people. And, it's just one of those things.
That's why it's like saying like when Bozeman has like a lot of drama right now, I just wish it would like flip, and we were all just like inspired to make this place better, and just like it's frustrating sometimes to know that like this little small town, like, oh, that's where I used to go do that at, and then that's just all being like torn down, and you know what I mean, and everyone's just like that's just the way life goes, and you're like, well, this is like Bozeman is so special in the way that everyone knew each other. And I know that there's any small community with not very many people, you're going to know each other, right? But, it's one of those things where, we should be inspiring each other. Those of us that really care about Bozeman, like not doing a copy and paste of what all the other cities have mistakenly done with letting things get out of control as far as like people's well-being, and that would be my greatest hope moving forward, is just like somehow people finding inspiration to not be distracted by drama and influence each other to like take action to do better.
Yeah. I agree. You want to grab something else?
Okay.
You start this time.
Okay. We have to say 5 things we love about each other.
Okay.
Okay. So?
I'm happy I told you to start first.
Do you want me to say all 5? Or do you want me to say one and you say one? How do you want to do it?
I will go through the 5 because I feel like
Through the 5. Okay.
I feel like we could be here all night.
If we go back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay. First thing I ever fell in love with, and that is your mind. So that's the first thing I love about you is your mind, how you think, etc.
Okay.
Number 2 is I love your sense of humor
Okay.
because I have a lot of fun with you, and you make me laugh. So sounds corny, but like that means a lot to me.
I think you make you laugh too.
But I was wondering. The third thing I love about you is your tough love. Because honestly, without it, I'd probably be just this crazy ass, lost little chihuahua, just barking along the street, but not knowing why I'm barking so much and just lost. And so I love your tough love. Because it comes from a good place. So, and then finally, right?
4.
Oh, I'm on 4? Oh, that's okay. Fourth thing, I love that you do music. Though I didn't really know about all of this when I first met you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was one day, like, I don't know, probably 2 to 3 weeks. I would say that we were in the car and you're like, hey, let me show you some old music. And I was like, what? You rap? Like, what? Like, I don't think you really ever came out with that in the beginning.
No, I didn't.
But I love that you do it because along with that comes so many other characteristics that just like the art side of things, the intellectual side of things, creative, like that's my world. So, and I love music. So, that's number 4.
Okay.
Okay, and lastly, right? I would have to say that I absolutely love you for loving lyric. Because I know that takes like a really special person to be able to love something as your own.
Okay. Okay. So you trying to get emotional in here. I guess it's my turn. Plead the 5th. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't make any rules to this. I just said write something down. So.
Yeah. So the first thing immediately is just like your heart and how much you love things and people that you love and how you like to make people happy, and it's just like all streaming from the ability and the want to just love. So like I love that because that's how my mother was growing up. So it's something that I've always looked at and admired because it's something that doesn't always come easy for me because love is a very complicated thing for me, and because of having experienced certain things, it can definitely be hard to always show it and feel it, even when it's being showed. So I appreciate your ability to kind of show that love no matter what. I also appreciate how creative you are in the aspect of dancing and your love for graphic design and just creating things. I think that if you were given the opportunity or had to, you would just create new things consistently and never even look at the thing you just created. You would just keep going. Create something new today, create something new tomorrow, create something new tomorrow, day after that, day after that. because you just really, really like have that love, desire, and passion to create things, and I do too. So I definitely love the fact that you do that. I also, wait, we're keeping all of these things PG. No, I'm joking. So I also I like how charismatic and just joyful and just gleeful that you are, which oftentimes is just natural. So like someone can give you a reason to act otherwise, of course. But if it's just you and your natural element, you're just fun and free, and that's not something that I've had a lot of. Definitely in life, for me, life has been very just since I've been in control of my own life. It's just like structure, strategy, composure. So when I see this like little flower over there just blowing in the wind, just like enjoying the love and life, it reminds me to do the same thing, and like I need that. So it's almost like the on the same note as like the tough love. So I need that. So I appreciate seeing that and having someone so close to me that is like that. I also love that you want to do new things all the time, because I really don't. I can do things that I like and I love, and then just want to do those things, same things over and over and over and over and over again. You, on the other hand, don't like doing that. You would rather new things. And because of that, I often experience a lot of new things because of you. And even as we sit here, I'm sure that I'm going to experience so much more shit, at some point, just because the nature of our relationship, the nature of who you are. I know that there's like a million other things that I'm going to experience because of you, and then lastly, like this is kind of hard. It's kind of hard to narrow it down to 5, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
But 5, it would have to kind of be. It probably have to be your sense of humor. It would have to be, because you're a little clown, and that's why I call you that all the time. It's because you're just walking around. I don't know if you walk around thinking of different ways in your head how to be a clown. I don't know if you wake up in the morning and you like have a clown agenda, and you're like, okay,
all natural.
It's just all natural. So there you go. Like
someone, Melissa, sent me. I'm an emotional mess right now, by the way. It was just my 20-year high school reunion that I did not go to. Pictures look great. Yay. But
you're just not in them. You're like,
yeah,
pictures look great, but
like y'all look like, a blown up version of your little self. Like,
damn.
Like, not in a bad way.
No, I hear you. No, you're all grown out.
Yes.
We all look different. We all look different. What was this, 20 years later?
Yeah.
So 20 years.
Yeah, no, ironically, they all pretty much look the same. So it's weird. But apparently they must have had the yearbooks out, because Melissa sent me a photo of me and my friend Katie, my best friend in high school at the time. And it said, in quotes, I want to be the next Ronald McDonald.
What?
And I was just like, 1, go figure, don't remember saying that.
Yeah.
2, what the hell? And 3, full circle that you call me a clown, because now I really can't deny the fact that, it's in writing and it's in a
We got to
book.
find a way to like pull it up. You got to take a picture of that, so I can like have that right here so they can see that, because that funny as hell.
Yeah.
Little Debbie, just knowing that she's gonna grow up to be a clown. And then and then I started throwing around that term clown so often, after
As if you knew.
as if I knew this was your calling. So it's almost like when you go to the last level and you're donned to be like the champion, like I'm donning you as the champion, like I've donned you as the clown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I dub thee.
Okay.
The Debbie as the clown. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Well, honestly, like even when I do any kind of video marketing, I naturally go to humor. How can we make a landscaping company be an entertaining commercial and or funny? Do you know what I mean? So it's like I even insert that into my marketing. Like I really don't want to make a commercial unless it's funny.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna have to be my niche, because anything else to me is just boring or forced or overdone.
Because there's not enough time to have like a strong storyline for the commercial.
No.
So it's like it has to be witty humor for people to just watch. Because unless you pass a commercial and you're like, oh my God, what's going on
So
here?
with marketing, you have to provoke some sort of emotion, and the emotions are either humor or sadness. You know what I mean? Or the third one would be like inspirational, right? So it's either something that's inspiring you, it's making you sad, or it's making you laugh. So I would rather do something inspirational or humor. Personally, I don't really want to tug at the heartstrings. You know, I would say on the flip side, doing this documentary here soon for Pickle Barrel, though, like that to me is also something I'm super interested in doing. It'll be really I'm really curious to see if it turns out in my head the way I have it, you know. But for the most part, it's just funny because that's just the way I lean in the marketing. Like, even just, and you know what though? It's like there's proof to it, because you can post a meme on like a business page, and it'll have so much engagement over just posting something else.
Yeah.
Even if that something else is relevant, or it's a good photo visually, you could have all the right things going for it, and you could post a meme that's like been so over reused that it's pixelated and blurry and you can barely read the words, and it's been cropped 100 times, and it'll still get more engagement. And when I see that people respond to that humor, it makes me go like, why wouldn't we do this in other avenues? Why wouldn't we bring this meme culture to life, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, like with the Pickle Barrel, one of the last commercials I did for them in the winter, like it was a humorous script. And not only was it so much fun to make, like everyone was enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And
imagine.
you know what I mean? And then at the same time, like their employees are really fun, and their employees are funny, and, you know, like have that goofy spirit to them. So it only made sense that we did, you know, doing it fit. It wasn't like a force. Like I'm never going to force funny.
Yeah.
But, you know, with like the R-Bar commercials, I've been able to put a little bit in there. And that was just because some of the players just might naturally have that in them. But yeah, but you're the yin to my yang. So if I'm a clown, you're part of the circus too.
Well, as long as I'm only the conductor, I'll take it. Well, I think you just put out your pitch for you know, comedic marketing. Reach out to Debbie. That's your girl. She got you.
Yeah.
Let her do something funny for you, and I mean, stay very engaged, right?
I love you, by the way.
I love you too.
There was definitely more I could have said, but you know, I would have been an emotional wreck.